to the Red Room. So on today's video, we're going to talk about our parting ways with Green, and I'm using his expression. We're going to do a video about this anyway today because we thought.
But then now it's turned into something else. Yeah, it's a response video. It was supposed to be just a video informing,
explaining
what happened. Now it's a response video.
Also calm. I'm not saying that you were not calm when you did it. Your tweet was very, but you know that things in Twitter get to.
Yeah, well, there were also people intervening. That's why it escalated into something else. Maybe we should first start by showing the tweet, so we can just, if you don't know what we are talking about, let's just show the tweet first. Let's share this. Okay, so the tweet was a very simple one. It's unfortunate. Maybe you can't read it because it's probably small screen. It's unfortunate, but it must be said. I'm through with Grimm. It's not really a surprise since he has been supporting the insane True agenda for long. I wish him well. Nothing personal, but my patience for woke adjacence is over. Okay, this is the tweet. Now, what was this a response to? I'm going to show that one too. So he wrote, "See, I don't think that's particularly true anymore." This is a response to a Graham's tweet. "It's the right that has gone off the deep end. The threat of authoritarian theocracy is clear and present. The danger to women's lives and rights, the threat to the LGBT community, most of whom aren't annoying activists. This is the first vessel incident of the 21st century."
And then he did that video.
Yeah. Okay.
About Trump that annoyed a lot of people.
Yes, not us.
Or I don't know, the
so just a preamble to the response. We are not annoyed because he commented on Trump's assassination. We're not American, so why should we be annoyed by that? We were annoyed.
I don't exactly agree with this.
Yeah, I don't agree, but that's just that's a problem that the British and the Americans should solve between them. We don't have anything to do with that, fortunately. What annoyed me was, and it wasn't the first time he says this, but it became frequent. Well, yesterday, was it yesterday? 2 days ago, whatever. It was basically the last drop. So he was saying again that now the problem is right, blah blah blah, because well,
I think people know where we stand regarding this, and especially I'm not going to call it transphobia, but I think me probably even more than you when you got it from me. The trans thing, yes. I'm a third, like they say in the UK. So I'm not gonna say I'm transphobic. I'm not afraid of trans people, and I do work with at least 2 trans people that I know of, 2 women that decided to be men. I knew them before they didn't make the decision. Of course, when I have to interact with them, I do it in a polite and educated way. I'm not crazy. But what do I think about the trans issue? Can I say it before we start?
Yes, okay.
The awful rights that we want to take away from the trans people. So a man in a dress is not a woman. He shouldn't be entitled to go to women locker rooms, women only spaces, women shelters, just because he put on a wig and he decided that he wants to be a woman. And then we all have to pretend that his dick is a girl dick.
Or is open wound. String open wound.
In that case, I'm nicer than you, because I think if he's a post-op, I would prefer not, but I can accept it. The problem is when you have but the problem is when you have self-ID, that the problem is not with, and I'm not sure about, because Grimm said that he has friends and people that he work with that are trans and non-binary. Non-binary doesn't exist. Trans people, if you go to the full surgery,
okay.
No, what I'm saying is you cannot. The problem is that they are overreaching. Any guy can put on a wig and just say,
I already did that.
Yes, but you didn't.
No, I was just.
I would divorce you.
I was in the video. Okay, just one thing about transphobia. I wouldn't mind be transphobe. I can't be a transphobe because I usually am not afraid of those guys unless they are very big and muscular and dangerous, or carrying a gun or something. The other reason is that doesn't exist. Just common sense. But saying that a man wearing a dress and putting on a wig is not a woman is not transphobia. It's common sense. The only people that call this transphobia are the woke. And if you don't want to be woke adjacent or woke, stop using that word. That's ridiculous. Men wearing dresses are not women. Another word that only woke people should use is gender affirming care. You're not, what the fuck does that mean? So gender is a social construct. Cutting the guy's balls is not gender affirming anything. You are just cutting his balls and creating a festering wound. That's not care. That's medically assisted mutilation. So it's all just bullshit.
Okay, so coming on my list because I'm the one that can be more reasonable, although I'm the one.
We should show a video, maybe.
More. Yes, but just let me.
That's the response part. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so let me just, because I cannot stop saying, I'm gonna do that in the middle of the video.
You can pause it.
Okay. Go on.
Okay.
Never let me what I want. You need to share thumbs.
Yes. Okay. So what? I'm going to share the video where it talks about this.
You need to share the screen and you need to share.
I know this is taking some. Okay. Is that good enough? Okay. So here's the video. I skipped the first part because it's talking about Trump and the assassination attempt and whatever, because that's not really.
Anyway, this position that I hold, that modern Trumpism is essentially fascism, I can defend at length with a PowerPoint presentation if necessary.
Please don't.
This is all just preamble. This is why the right has decided to hypocritically cancel me this time.
Okay, let's start by this.
I don't think, yes, thank you. I don't think anybody's trying to cancel him. I mean, we're not trying to cancel him.
I'm not. I don't know if, or maybe someone is. I don't know. I haven't seen everything.
Not us.
Definitely not us. And most people I saw responding to that tweet, or others, because there were that wasn't just the only one, or in the video that he talked about Trump. Most people were just saying, okay, I'm going to unfollow you. Okay. Canceling may have different meanings depending on what people think about it, but okay, we were cancelled, right?
Because
we were expelled from a place where we were selling our games. So this is it's not our livelihood, but it's mine, so it affects both. So we were professionally attached to that place, to that store, and we were cancelled by it because, well, we lost that revenue. Now, in this case, I know that Grim has
monetized channel.
As a monetized channel, he gets money from that, but well, we are not obliged to subscribe it, right? If you are annoyed by that, you unsubscribe it. And when he did that video, he knew that he was going to be unsubscribed by some people, so that's just the risk of it. Are we going to call that cancel because people announced publicly that they were going to unsubscribe? I don't think so. It's different from everybody unsubscribes from this fellow because he's a bad man. That's not the thing that was happening. People just complaining that he was talking about things that he doesn't understand, that he was having shitty takes about American politics, as usual. People have been saying that for a long time. But I guess this was too much, probably, because it was a murder attempt on next president's life and former president. So I guess that was, I don't know, maybe someone did something that can be considered. No, it's just
yes,
he was insulting him in the video, but that's he usually does that. I wouldn't call that. I think so. Yes, I think he was pissed off, but he wasn't saying do not buy anything from this guy or do not follow him or something like that. I don't think he was. I don't.
Yeah, from the part that I saw.
No, and also Pandit, he talked about it as well, but he was just saying that you are dumb or something like that, or at least dumb compared to him, and that's not really.
I didn't watch it.
That's not cancelled. Well, yeah, but it started talking about other stuff, and then you only mentioned Grim and the others after, I don't know, 50 minutes. So it wasn't also kind of we can consider it an attack, but an attack on the person's points of view, not on his career. So I wouldn't consider that. I mean, okay, his career right now seems to be more connected to his YouTube channel and possibly to his porn business or whatever that's called, and not really games. But still, I don't know what's. It's just his takes are wrong. Well, I don't think that's cancelled. No. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay, well, let's proceed.
Amongst those issues, there is the Red Room, who have decided to part company with me and dismissed me as woke or woke adjacent, which has echoes of being accused of being alt-right adjacent in the past, I guess. Funny how things mirror each other, isn't it? Now, I've been associated with the Red Room for quite some time. Got them their start in the industry, really.
Okay, let's just. That's true, obviously.
Yes.
We started, well, not we. I started by publishing through Postmortem, and we had no problems with that. That was very. That was a peaceful, professional relationship that didn't have any problems. Proceed.
And they are really strong experts on cinema, giallo, pulp culture. I very much respect their expertise and so on that, and the stuff that they published through me to start with before they went out on their own was, mostly that kind of stuff. And over, I guess, the last few years, I've stood up with them through a lot. I tried to intervene at drive-through.
Before we go into drive-through, okay, this is true. But it was not just from his side, of course. We supported everything that was related to Postmortem and Grim.
You were the people that also helped him when he needed help finishing Winchester. Of course, you were also volunteered into Turkey.
Yes, that's it. And well, okay, so we can say that I wasn't really. I would rather have not been paid for that because it was very annoying to do that work. But yeah, okay. Yeah, good. It was one of those things that I would rather have not done. It looked like work, unlike the rest of the stuff that I've been doing. But obviously, the rest of the things I have done, it was my choice, and that wasn't. I would never have done something like that by my own choice. So this is all true as well. I'm not going to contest any of this. Even before, but I was saying, we were also supporting Postmortem Studios as buyers and also sharing videos and all that. And when Manchester came, we tried to help with the promotion. Probably didn't help anything because our channel is just a piece of shit. Oh, by the way, I'm offended because he did the video on his secondary channel. But yeah, this channel has more or less the same subscribers. That's the part that's expensive, right? Yeah, it's like very offending, but it should have been in the main channel. But yeah, okay, let's forget about it.
This is a joke. No, it's not a joke. Yeah, of course, you're serious.
So we tried to help with inviting for an interview. A couple of interviewed him. I don't know if once or twice. I don't remember. 3 times, I guess. Yeah. And that's it. Let's proceed. And you did now comes right.
After we were out of drive-through, he did a scenario for us. Of course, we paid him to do it. So
it wasn't free.
RPG at great risk to my own ability to sell on that platform. I've argued their corner. I've made excuses for them because I understand how one can end up feeling persecuted and how one can end up developing a siege mentality when you're seemingly under attack from everyone, everywhere, and being chased out from everything. I mean,
Okay, this is this point of view. I wouldn't say that I developed a siege mentality. I was expecting something like this because I was watching other people being cancelled, including himself. So no, this didn't change anything. Well, it changed because it changed the red room, it changed the way we were working. It made me create a website and a store to be able to sell stuff. It created problems because we were selling kind of reasonably. When we opened the store, things went downhill. So I had to work more, and I had to publish more, try to release more to make the same amount of money. I would think to invest something more because the shop is paid for and all that. So things change, but not my opinion about things. We could say that yours probably, political stance changed a bit, but not because of that. So I would say that for me, when I was in college, I was center right probably. Then I started working and things weren't going that well, so I moved a little bit to the left, center left probably, center left. I was leaning to the left years ago, but then when the woke stuff started blowing up, that was the end of it. Structurally.
Here the left parties, except the communists, for example, they were anti-globalists, and suddenly they started to become pro-globalists. You know, like what the hell? You're
the champagne socialists changed overnight. Yeah, it was overnight. Suddenly, it seems like they got an SMS telling our memos. Yeah. Oh, now you're globalists. Okay, yeah, we were always globalists.
Never said that Portugal should leave it.
Very 1984.
I think that's when things started to.
Yeah, so
there's something wrong with the left.
Yeah, and what I found out about after some time is that this is always how the left was. I'm not saying that everybody on the left is an hypocrite, but most people on the left are hypocrites, and they were. It was never about the proletarians. It was never about the poor. It was never about the minorities. It was always about power. Some people may have been, but those were fooled. Those were the useful idiots that were fooled by the people manipulating stuff, by the elites, basically, because the left is always manipulated by the elites.
But you can say that yes, Green supported us when we were out on drive-through, and not like the people that said, "Oh, you had it coming."
Yeah, and some people on the right did say that. But yeah, it was the siege mentality that he mentions here, and you mentioned it again later. That's why I stopped now to address that part of the issue. We didn't change because of that. Basically, what happened was just proving that we were right before. Let's proceed.
Here we are again with me trying not to do that. Hopefully the experience of the last decade has made that easier. The crux of the problem for the Red Room seems to be some reviews I did of their work that they sent me, and the fact that I called out their, transphobia when I made those reviews. Not to prosecute or attack them necessarily, because again, I understand how you can.
Pause again, because it wasn't just that. No, it probably is saying this because I did a short video.
Yes. But I'm going to say also.
It wasn't for him.
Yes.
No.
People started to say.
Yeah, there was a friend of Grimm with
with whom I had a fallout almost a year ago because of transphobia.
Exactly, always the same thing. So he's a YouTuber.
But it was because
he's not really a YouTuber. But he has 35 channels and nothing's on. Including in
to me on X saying didn't like my he didn't like some of my opinions. And one of these days, when he would talk about that to me in private, and obviously I didn't react well to that. And I called him out, and he ended up having an argument with Miguel, not with me, because male feminists.
So the male feminist was annoyed because she told him to go fuck himself.
Yes.
Which
But
is
he
something that
started arguing with you before I told him that.
Yeah.
So that's how I finished the conversation. You were supposed to be arguing with me, not with you. I was the one that had the.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, so he's a Canadian Spanish. He believes himself as a tough guy.
But that was because of the
So
replies
that's-
that he started sending to Miguel. It was not actually to put him on the spot.
Exactly. So this video that I did with those little bits of what should I call that, introduction or something, for the two reviews, I posted them as a reply to that guy, even though I had blocked him. I forgot that he wouldn't see it, but I did it afterwards because I was getting annoyed. He was writing several tweets, even though I wasn't even.
You weren't replying to him.
I wasn't replying because I think it was during our night, so I only saw it in the morning and I blocked. And then I did the video.
Yeah, so that was 7 in the morning.
Yeah. So yeah, it was on the 7th. It annoyed me that guy because we had an argument before, and I told him, okay, this is not personal. Go, everybody's way, and let's just stop this. But we know that how these people are. So okay, but just to complement this, I was going to say that this was not truly the reason. Okay, so our professional or my professional relationship with Grimm and postmortem disagreements was very peaceful, as I said before, and everything worked out fine. I don't have those usual problems that nerds have that put their egos above their work. I think I am an easy person to work with. I didn't complain about anything, and even either, so everything went well. So professionally, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to complain about him.
About this part about transphobia and all that, and I guess yes, that is the crux of
probably for him.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain on my part and yours as well. So I started getting annoyed with his takes during COVID. So this is an extreme leftist anarchist who said several times that you would think he thought that it would be nice to have probably not nice unvaccinated people to be incarcerated or put on house arrest, and he was pro all those silly measures. Okay, I know, and this was one of the reasons that this started getting uglier, because I said that I understand that because he is an hypochondriac, and apparently this was considered an insult. Okay, I don't know, in Portuguese, I wouldn't consider the word hypochondriac. Yes, so you can be sick and still be hypochondriac. I would call any old lady that spends all her days talking about diseases to be hypochondriac. Does the old lady not have diseases? Well, probably she has, but.
Here's an example of my grandmother, and I don't want to compare Green to my grandmother. I don't want to offend him compared to my crazy grandmother, but yes, that's the case of a person that is completely hypochondriac, but yes, she has diseases.
So that's it. I wasn't implying that he wasn't in that reality.
That is health issues.
So he has health issues, but he's still hypochondriac, and I think that's. Well, I don't know if he considers. I can't remember any hypochondriac saying that he's an hypochondriac. I think that's part of the thing, right? If you know that you are talking too much about your illnesses, you probably stop doing it. So you wouldn't be, and probably stop worrying too much about them. And you won't be an hypochondriac. So I guess that's part of the issue. So that was the first thing. That was kind of annoying. We were and we still are unvaccinated.
But I would say at the same time, what we did was the social distance. The social distancing is very good.
Yes.
Like my friends in my family that got vaccinated, they got COVID like 5
But that
times
was
because they can do stuff.
we were doing social distancing for a long
Use
time.
that as an excuse to get away from people.
Besides that, well,
But at the time, of course, we didn't say anything.
no, I didn't say anything about COVID because I was. It was like watching the world go crazy around us, and I just said, okay, I'm going to pretend that this isn't happening and just la, and then it was finished, and suddenly everybody forgot about it. Well, I didn't. Now I remember everything. And yeah, it was all a shit show. I know that well, there's a problem here because now I'm going to offend Grim again. He's the kind of person that I'm not going to say he thinks that he's always right. He knows he's always right, and he isn't. No one is always right, but he knows he's always right. I know another guy that is like him, and I did with that guy exactly the same thing. I cut ties with him recently. He's also woke. Also, like Grim is not an activist. He's not a woke activist. He basically, in this case, he basically doesn't use social media, but he's still a woke guy, progressive. If you don't like the word woke, and I'm going to send him the video as well. He should watch it. So COVID was the first thing, and then of course the trans thing, obviously.
But during a lot of time, of course, we didn't say anything because, well, we had a personal, professional relationship with him.
Also,
and you want to look like, oh, he helped you start, and now you are.
The only reason now that I didn't just forget about it and let it go, it's because basically this professional relationship now is very tenuous. Okay, so he has some stuff at his store, but it almost doesn't sell anymore. So I didn't think it would be a problem to speak what I think right
now. Yes, in this, well, I don't know if you can talk about this or just go, because there's a part on the video.
No, so let's proceed.
End up in that siege mentality, and I'm willing to forgive a lot, but I did that in order to cover my own ass. So disclaimer, this company has some views that I don't agree with. I'd do the same if there were a Harry Potter RPG associated with J.K. Rowling. I would say something there, though I don't think she's quite as transphobic as she's painted, to be honest. But I don't keep track of her, so maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, I just don't want to be attacked for things that I don't believe. Right? I get enough shit for things that I do believe. And even so, I agonized over what I was going to do about that in the reviews, getting advice from my counselor and my therapist and several friends before deciding that I would do the disclaimer. It's just that even when there's disagreement or even when you've come under attack, cruelty just rubs me the wrong way. Right? Maybe I've gotten soft over the last 10 years, but when seemingly every other post or comment you make or the people associated with you who work with you make is attacking trans people or spewing slurs like troon, it gets pretty fucking tiring and my tongue gets sore from biting it so much. It
happened to the same to me. But that's exactly my tongue was almost bitten off.
When did that review? Miguel, at the time you
told him? I messaged him and said, okay, if I shouldn't have asked you this last review, and this was about Redshift, not the other one, because that's another story. I told him after that, if you want to cut ties with us, stop selling our stuff, that's fine. I understand you have your audience, and that audience is partly woke.
Or what everyone wants to call it.
I probably use the word woke because that's what I use. Yes, progressives, leftists, whatever they identify with. And if he had said so, I knew he would probably say no because
he needs to prove that he's a better person,
Yeah.
that he can just be a person. And this is because I think it's healthier of just there's no resentment against him. Yeah, okay. It's just we have our views. He has if making the reviews made him that uncomfortable, he should have said sorry, but I can't. That would be okay.
I think that's the British thing. But I was more pragmatic, which is not a Portuguese. Perhaps in this case, it's not. Yeah, Portuguese are pragmatic, but probably not in this kind of thing. But in this style of stuff, I'm not really that Portuguese. So I was pragmatic, and I told him, okay, just cut ties, and we forget about this, and we stop doing business together. And you can just say that if you want to. I expected him to say no, but I wanted him to say yes because that would also release me, and I would feel better because I wouldn't have to do this. But I didn't
Because
have.
in this situation we had Green has his opinions and ours upset him, and we have our opinions and Green's upset us. So the healthiest thing here, instead of this for me, of people pretending that everything is fine, we can say, okay, I know who this person is. I published his stuff. You started with him, but now we are going to part ways.
Yeah.
In a peaceful way, because if you just unfollow the Green or somebody, yes, somebody would notice. And there's always the thing that when people say, "Oh, Green did that," "Oh, Green," because we have a connection with him, and that's why I guess it was important to say we are getting some distance.
Yes, that's true.
So people would not ask why you're not selling at postmortem anymore, or why. So stuff like that. So that's why I said that before. I also wanted this to end and to go separate ways. So I would feel I wouldn't feel this pressure and the need to say something or to argue. And I didn't argue with him because again, let's go back. He knows he's right. And in this case, sorry man, you are wrong. You are way, way wrong about the drones. And things in the future will prove, like COVID, even though you still don't believe that was a shit show, but yeah, it was. And the drones, oh, this will be very bad in the future. I'm sure that will be. But anyway, I know I'm right in this case. I don't think I'm always right, but in this case, I know I'm right. Unfortunately,
as I did about COVID.
And doing in teenagers and shouldn't, but that is.
And I'm not going to talk about COVID now, but I also knew that I was right about that. And the future proved us more or less, even though no one will ever disclose information. But that's anyway. We'll see.
Work with trans and non-binary people on Tabletopless, or have worked. I have employed trans and non-binary artists and writers. I have to be able to look those friends and co-workers in the eye day to day. So I have to distance myself from such hatred, or I'm letting those friends down. Right? Yes, trans activists are annoying. Lots of activists are annoying. That doesn't justify being horrible to all of these people, most of whom just want to live a quiet life and get on with it.
Most of them.
And use the women's toilet when they have babies.
Not most of them.
That is the problem. That unfortunately there's a lot of people taking advantage of the trans fashion, whatever you want to call it, to start identifying as trans.
I mean, people only started complaining about this and having an opinion about this even recently.
Yes.
Before there were those guys that always guys, never women, that wanted to change sex. Yeah, sex, not gender.
Sexuals. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think most people
care about that. No one cared about that. They cut off their balls and they created that the festering wound, and no one cared about that. Why? Because they were, I don't know, you could spend your whole life and not meeting one. Nowadays it's not like that, so that's why people are annoyed.
And it's a social contagion.
Yeah.
But here Green was talking again, and this is what we're talking before, that yes, this is the time when they got to the conclusion it was better for both sides for us just to create a distance.
So yeah, it's just covering my own arse. I didn't want to be attacked for things I don't believe. I'm only really happy to be attacked for things that I do believe. And the other thing I did, of course, was to say that, we had an existing financial relationship. I'd worked with them, all of this stuff, because that's important when you're doing reviews, that you disclose any potential conflicts of interest. I've done the same when I've reviewed stuff by Evil Hat, right? Because we have beef. They have come after me in the past. So it made sense for me to make any viewer aware of any conflicts of interest I had there. Other people I've worked with, I always mention it, unless I forget, but I almost always mention it. I mean to mention it. And my reviews have to be honest, otherwise they're no good to anybody. Otherwise you end up like Kotaku. So I have to give my honest opinion as well as disclosing all of that stuff. I don't know why that's wrong, or why disclaiming and excusing myself from associations is bad or wrong. It's not condemnation or anything. It's just me saying, they do this, I'm reviewing their product, I don't believe in that. It's
See, this is the part when I disagree with Green, although I understand him, but at the same time, I think that when you are review, you shouldn't have to say, I'm reviewing this product, or by the way, these people have this political opinion.
There's one part
There
of
should
that.
be no
There's
that.
one part of the disclaimer that I agree that has to be made, which is they sent me this book for
Yes.
free. I
And
work
you
with
work
them,
with-
and they have published their stuff, and blah blah blah.
No, that's shouldn't be.
No, we shouldn't have to say that. There's no reason for that. That's just
This is the world we live in. That shouldn't be.
yeah. This is called well, not it's necessarily called, but it could be called bending the knee to the woke mob. That's what they would do. Bending the knee to the woke mob, which I understand because it's part of his. It's still part of his audience, not the extremist woke, but those lesser. Let's call them progressives. They aren't, but let's call them progressives. And one of them will be commenting on this video later. Piece of crap, human being. No, not a human being. Just a virus, a parasite. And he could have just refused. I mean, we talked about it. I said, "Do you want to do the reviews?" And he said, "Yeah." He could have said, "No, I can't do that because
it would be. I mean,
because you are transferred." Okay.
I prefer not because my audience doesn't like your
And the second one, by the way, I was going to say that before, but I forgot. The second book in that small video that I shared, Isn't Ours, is talking about
the
demons of Chernobyl.
Yes.
So this is
it was the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, he said, "Could you ask Grim to do a video?" And I told him, "Well, I'm not really sure. I wouldn't like to do that because last time we did a review, we talked about our political opinions, and the guy said, yeah, well, sure." And I said, "Okay, let's talk to him." And when I talked to him about this, I mentioned that, well, and he knew it wasn't that, but he felt he had to talk about it anyway because the review mentioned it.
Unfortunately, it's how the game is played these days. And so you kind of have to play along to a degree. You don't have to like it, but you kind of have to. Maybe you can't split the difference here by trying to be compassionate and understanding of both sides, but I gave it the good old college try. Of course, other stuff from them and others is piling up as well. Suddenly, me, someone who this broader mob agreed with on a lot, ostensibly, in the recent past, who they respected, and so on, liked my work and everything. Now, apparently, I'm ugly, greasy, I'm getting implicit death threats, my health issues are suddenly hypochondria, or not real, or a cover for some sort of COVID conspiracy or something. It gets hard to keep track. But yeah, the sudden outpouring of vitriol, seemingly out of nowhere, is a bit whiplashy.
We already explained it.
Yeah,
but I didn't know about any death threat. I don't know. I didn't
I
didn't
see it. I wasn't threatening anyone's life. So.
But I would say, yeah, people were, but yeah, there was a lot of video, especially from people that, honestly.
Oh, but then
Not from us. Yes, but that's what I was going to say, because Grammy say, I don't know, out of nowhere, yes, you pissed them off. And I
man, you wouldn't believe if you had pissed me off.
Yeah, no, not talking about
I wasn't pissed off. If I were pissed off, yeah.
A lot of people were pissed off. Yeah.
Yes, they were. And I was going to say, well, I'm not American, I'm Portuguese. If you had pissed me off, I wouldn't be on YouTube anymore or Twitter. I would be expelled from everywhere.
But yeah, what I'm saying is when they say, oh, it came out of nowhere. Oh, come on. You knew this was going to happen when you did that video.
He's not the cleverest man in the room, but he's clever enough to know that this was going to piss off a lot of people.
And me complaining or reacting with emotion to any of this is a pity party, apparently. But you know, I've been here before. I think I'm allowed, really, to be sad or upset that another group of people, this group, supposedly, having been in favour of dark humour, jokes, free expression, etc., ends up just being a mirror image of their opposites on the pseudo left, who betrayed me with a great deal of the same language, and so on, or post left, as I guess some people are calling it now. I don't know. I've taken this a lot better than last time. Maybe that's the drug.
Before it goes into that part, I'd like to say you will notice probably in the near future or even further along that it has nothing. It's very different things. I'm sure. What the progressive left did with the people that were cancelled was completely different. They unpersoned people. They were going after them. They did lists and all that. I'm sure none of these people will do that. There will be no Twitter lists of people to be.
Yeah, I didn't saw any people saying that they want to cancel him. Just
yeah, it's exaggerated here. I understand that why it's exaggerated because it's a drama. Well, people always. But none of that is going to happen. I'm very sure that people will just go along and forget about this.
Andrew likes to be a contrarian, and I'm going to say that sometimes it almost feels like he likes to piss off people. So yes. I don't believe that he was not expecting.
Actually,
some of the conservatives would get pissed off, especially about Trump.
We've said that long before this, that sometimes we had the feeling, or actually we were basically sure of that if he had the need to piss off the conservatives, so he would feel like he wasn't betraying his political position in the left. Not to, or at least not before, not to bend the knee to the woke, but just for himself. Yeah, he needed to feel like he was still a leftist, so let's piss off the conservatives. Even when he still wouldn't say that Trump is a fascist in the past, he would still do videos about Trump and criticize American politics and all that. So I'm sure that it was talked about. He thought about it before he did it. So it's I understand that part, kind of. Let's proceed.
Drugs. Maybe that's the emotional calluses and bitter experience. Maybe I didn't expect better of right-wing people. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's less charitable than I've been thinking it was. I don't know.
Yes, it is. Yes, yes. I'm not even going to. I have nothing to do with it. But you look at them as deplorables. Okay, that's.
I think
not just you. It's a British thing. Yeah. But you all look at them as deplorables, and they understand that, even the stupid ones, and they don't like it, and that's perfectly normal. I think the Spanish do the same to us.
And we, the Brazilians, also have this type of relationship.
I don't really care about that, but I understand.
Yeah.
And if I was American, I'd probably be stuffed by that.
Anyway, I still don't bear any ill will towards the Red Room. They make good stuff, and a lot of it. I just didn't want to be associated with their trauma-induced bigotry, even if I understand where it comes from and how you get locked into that siege mentality, because that was me in 2014, at least a bit. And I wanted to flag up conflicts of interest so that I could give fair and accurate reviews, and anyone watching my reviews would be aware of those conflicts of interest. I think that's just good practice. That is ethics in games journalism 101. At least for the time being, you can still buy some of their stuff at my store, and I will continue to leave it up so long as they don't mind me leaving it up, and I will continue to send them the cash from the sales. But it's always best for a publisher anyway.
Yeah, why not? If you if you don't mind that part. But if you do mind that part, and I understand that you have mentioned before that you really don't like the wink accounting. I don't like either. I have to do the same. But we have to do the same.
I'm doing it.
She does a little bit more of the accounting, but I have to do the payments. And that's really boring.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do it, not because of this, but just because it's boring, and I'm sure that's normal. I wouldn't take that as an offense, obviously. That's it.
Yeah, totally fine.
Anyway, if you buy from them direct. So if you want to buy from them, go to their store and buy stuff there. They're still doing interesting stuff with the OSR and their Wretched series. You know, there's plenty there to recommend it, and they know their onions when it comes to pulp and sort of grindhouse cinema and those sorts of things. So, if you like that stuff, they're still worth supporting. And I still don't bear them any ill will. They've just made me a sad panda. That's all. So that's my bullet pointed list of prepared sentiment. If anyone wants to ask anything about that.
Yeah, there's some.
But
it talks a little bit more after that, but yeah, this was. We would be addressing some.
And we don't
some scam there.
But yeah, the same. We don't really wish. I don't wish Green.
Neither do I.
What? Well, I'm missing the
Still,
yes, that's
British.
it's British.
Yeah, neither do we. I mean, we supported Postmortem Studios all the before this and during the time that he was publishing my stuff, and after that as well. Well, not anymore because there's nothing much coming from there anymore. I think.
No, there's a plan for any game.
Well, not from maybe he has released something from third parties, but I didn't buy that anyway. I was buying his stuff, not third party stuff usually. I think he's going to publish the OG. He mentioned that in the video. So we are not now. This is the time when we are going to that we can now say that again. We are not doing a canceling. We are not participating in a canceling. I will probably not watch lots of videos now. Still, I might watch his game-related videos, not political ones, because I don't want to get annoyed. Well, it's not actually the problem getting annoyed. What I don't want to have is create the need to respond and to create another argument, and I want to avoid that. So that's why I'm not going to watch his political videos. I might watch gaming videos if I'm interested in them, of course. He does nice videos. He has, I like his reviews. So he's a bit too critical of stuff, and I'm not talking about ours. A bit too critical of everything. So it's difficult, and he's too critical. It's difficult to understand if he liked it or not. So just that. But he does good videos, and if he does any games in the future, I might be interested in. Depending on what it is. Yeah. So we are not going to tell you not to buy there, of course. If you are interested in post-mortems games, yes, several good games. Some of them we did stuff for them. Well, not we, I did for Punk and for actual fucking monsters. No idea. So obviously, and all the rest. If you like to watch porn stars playing D&D, why not? I wouldn't watch that, but I believe that is the main problem for Grim right now. He is afraid that porn is going to be targeted by the right, and that it might be cancelled again. And in that case, I would consider that to be a cancelling. That would be a cancelling, but that's not what is happening right now. Okay, maybe some of the people that are angry with him right now will support that cancelling in the future, but that hasn't happened yet. And not has, I mean, I wouldn't watch that thing, but yeah, I don't care if some people want to give money to people fucking while they are playing D&D. That's just, yeah, it's silly, but it's not a problem for me. And porn in general is not really. It's only a problem because right now I understand that weird porn has a great deal of responsibility in why the world is going crazy.
Yeah. I never believed that thing that porn rotted people's brain.
And it didn't. It didn't when porn was just women fucking men.
Well, the problem is now we have fat furries as a action seller in drive-thru.
Yeah. So when fetishes weren't the major porn producers or whatever, things were porn was
the good old days.
The good old days of Behind the Green Door and all those porn classics. Those were good movies. I didn't watch any of them. Emmanuel was not porn, but it was a good movie.
It was erotic.
Yeah.
He had a good cinematography.
Yeah, and nice landscapes and all that.
Yeah, they always like the nice landscape.
Yeah. And very exciting. And there was a lot of diversity there. Of course, there was diversity. There was always a scene where a black guy would screw someone. So those were the good old days. Okay, so we are not against sport. That's not really an issue. And what else? What are we forgetting something about this?
I don't think so. I think we prefer not to talk about this anymore.
Yes,
because we are not.
It was needed right now, but yet, and I don't think anyone will do that unless in the future something about porn.
Whatever happens next.
Yeah.
Or whatever happens in the US.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to get crazier in the next.
That might happen, and
I hope it's not a civil war. That would be bad for ourselves.
Yeah, that's just because.
Yes.
Also, if someone asked me, and I'm sure no one will, but I would recommend him to stop talking about American politics because that annoys people. And but he won't do that.
Okay, but the same. For example, sometimes we have here in Portugal. Well, nobody talks about Portuguese politics, no. But Brazilians sometimes do report. It is very annoying. And I guess they also would feel annoyed when if Portuguese.
Well, there was some talk people citing Bolsonaro constantly.
Yes,
because the media was telling them to.
So that was in very bad taste. So when Bolsonaro was elected, we had some politicians in Portugal, female, enough most of them left center, with a campaign that said "Ill now, not him." And they're like, "You're fine, you stupid people. It's not your country. Don't." I think it's in bad taste.
And nobody cared when the other guy, the corrupt one, not the corrupt one, the most corrupt one.
And everybody said that they were being evil, wrong, and should keep their mouth shut.
So that's it's always the same. The progressive left is good. Everything else is bad, and it still hasn't changed. Okay, so Grim is starting to worry about the future where the progressive left won't be that powerful as it is right now. and things might change. I don't think it will change that much, but it might be bad for his business, not the YouTube channel, but the porn thing. I believe that might be a problem. Yes, I agree with that, even though he didn't mention it, but I'm assuming that is his main problem right now. And yeah, if that happens, then maybe there will be a cancel mob again going after his business, but we have nothing to do with that. And right now, I don't see any canceling going on, and I don't think there will be.
Yeah, I don't think that people can ban porn. I think that's very.
I don't think so, but they might make it more difficult to win money, to gain money from that. Free porn won't have a problem. What might have a problem is paid porn. That's the issue, I guess. They might create difficulties to monetize the porn channel.
So, anything else?
No, I don't think so. No, and let's hope this will be the last thing said about this. I can't guarantee. I'm not going to argue anything with Rim, but other people may appear, may show up, may say something, and I haven't all of them blocked. So if someone pisses me off, I will answer it. Yes.
Good for Green. That was never the intention. But yes, with other people.
Yeah, and even this, the first tweet was for him, obviously, not just for him, but it was basic. What happened next was more response to the Canadian Spanish dude, whom I don't like at all. Though I did.
You did interview him.
Yeah, and I chatted with him, and he didn't seem like a piece of shit at the time. Sometimes I get mistaken. And that's it. Okay, there's no ill will or bad blood or whatever. And I think it's over. We can finish this.
Yes, it's hot. Let's finish it.
Okay, bye-bye.